I've been a paying subscriber of MindMeister for something like 10 plus years now, and I find myself keep coming back to it. And I wanted to share a couple of reasons why and how this tool can be really effective. And maybe even if you're using it already, you might find a couple of ideas in the video, but let's just get into it. So as you can see right here, actually, I use this to do a brain dump. It's great for brain dump mind mapping, right? But planning out Productivity Academy, some 2025 stuff I want to do. And a lot of times this is where things start for me, where I just really want to get some ideas down and get a little bit of organization to them. And sometimes do a little bit more visual connecting, moving things around, as opposed to maybe a bulleted list in something like Google Docs or Notion or Roam Research, which I still love all of these tools, but I find visually this to be really helpful and really appealing. So like I said, I just created a map in here, and then I go from here and I'll use it as reference for breaking things down, maybe making a project. Like, for example, each one of these could be its own project in a task management or project management system, something like either maybe you're using MeisterTask or you're using Asana or you're using ClickUp, whatever it might be. But again, in here, I'm not going to go and get into the actual process steps and little minute details that needs to happen, but this gives me a really good map of what's going on. So if you're not familiar with MindMeister, I'm just going to show you really quick how you can create a map and some of the ways I think you can get the most out of this. And when you log in, you can create a mind map, a blank map, an org chart. They've got tons of templates that you can do, but I like the multicolored one. That's kind of neat. So we're just going to click on that, and I'll call this a video test. And the big thing here that you need to remember is tabs and enter. If you hit tab, you get a child node. So call this a child node. If you hit enter, you get one on the same level. Okay, so child 2 node. And then example, I could keep hitting tab, 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 and again, enter goes down and we get more at that level. That to me is the most important part to this and allows you to move really quickly and get things out. All you have to really remember is those two hotkeys, tab, enter, and the rest of it will come. So the rest of it being, well, what can you do? It depends if you're using the free version, the paid version, some of the stuff, some of the limits you have, but just to go over some of this, you can of course edit things. You can come in here and do things like, let's say we want to attach an image. You could add a comment. We could add a connection. This is kind of cool. Let's say we want to draw that. Okay, that can be really handy. You saw that in my other drawing where I'm connecting things. I don't like to use those too much, but it's nice to have that mental reference. I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And let's see, we could add a link. We could add some icons, add a picture. For example, I use MindMeister for book reviews from time to time, and that's really handy to add the cover of the book. If you come up here and you go to present, you can walk through it, okay? And you can customize this, but you can just walk through, and this can be a nice way to do a visual presentation. And beyond that, I'm not going to share a ton of crazy details. I just find that this is, again, such a great tool. And I was thinking to myself today as I was finishing up some of the planning, I was like, I really want to share about MindMeister again because it's such a handy tool and something that I go back to. And again, this isn't a knock on MindMeister. I'm not using it every single day. And I know people that are, but for me, it's so valuable that I continue to use it as a paying subscriber. And, just using it a few times a month is so valuable to me that it's kept me hooked for such a long time. So anyways, if you're not into MindMeister, I suggest just giving a mind mapping tool a try if you're not familiar with this, because if you at all like visual kind of brain dumps or mind mapping, then this is really probably going to appeal to you. And I highly suggest doing it for getting these things out of your head when you have more than just, a simple maybe 3-step process or project, and you just want to get things out and then kind of go from there. It can be really helpful. If you have any questions, comments about this, about MindMeister, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.